Welcome to Alien Theorist Theorizing. We got a special interview episode tonight. I'm Braden.
I'm Zell.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Andrew.
And tonight we're welcoming to the show host of Who Are the Aliens? The History of the Annunaki on Planet Earth. We got Mad Mark joining us today. Mad Mark, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, thanks for having me be here. I appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
I've got to tell you a little tidbit of how we found you. Probably like a month ago, a couple people started sending your reels over to us to be like, you got to get this guy in the show.
Oh, really?
And I saw it.
Reels?
Yeah, on Instagram.
Or YouTube.
I would see it and I'd go,
okay.
I would go, oh, this guy's awesome. And so I'd watch it. And then, I saw you. I was like, looked at your Instagram, impressive following. You're doing some good work there. And I was like, oh, you know what? We'll reach out. I'll reach out eventually. And then a couple more people, the last couple weeks sent one. And then one of our longtime listeners, who always talks shit. He's always shit disturber. Shit disturber.
Shit disturber.
He said,
I like the one guy. I like the mongoose hat there. That's awesome. That is really cool.
Thank you.
I need a hat like that.
Absolutely.
But he sent it to us, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to reach out today. And I reached out, and you got back to me within like an hour. I was like, oh, man. I was like, that was one of the easier guest books of all time.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you think I'm doing good on Instagram, you ought to see my Facebook. We're almost up to 100,000 on there.
Whoa.
What's the secret?
Yeah, it's just kicking ass. And I got a new show coming out. I post a new show every 2 weeks. It's not a weekly. There's no way I can by myself do a weekly show. But I got a new one coming out this Saturday that is just I think all my numbers are going to double. It's a real powerhouse episode coming up.
Hell yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, my numbers ever since around the 1st of November last year have just exploded. It's just been incredible, way beyond my wildest dreams.
Now, how did you get into this? How did you get interested in like Anunnaki and ancient alien theory? How did you get involved?
It all started when I was about 10 years old in a little town called Highland, Illinois, which is about 45 miles to the northeast of St. Louis, Missouri. We were sitting down to dinner one night. As I said, I was about 10. My brother was 6 and my sister was 2, I guess, at that time. And we heard this weird noise outside. And it was kind of like a siren, but not exactly, kind of a whirring siren noise. My parents assumed it was a ambulance or a police car. And having grown up in St. Louis, because that's where we were from originally, they've seen more than their share of police cars and fire trucks and all that sort of thing. So they weren't at all interested. But being that I was a 10-year-old boy, I wanted to see it. So I ran outside onto the back porch. Nobody else left the table, just me. I get outside and I'm how your brain kind of follows the sound. So I get out there and I'm like, and here we had this big tree in the backyard that separated our property from the next door neighbors. And right above this big tree, just sitting there, was this UFO. Now, when I was a kid, I was a very weak kid. I was not very strong. I could not have done it then. But if I was in that same situation now, I was so close, I could have easily thrown a rock and hit it. That's how close I was to this.
Wow.
I got a real up close and personal look at this craft. And I know what I saw. Okay. And back then in the 60s, it was, swamp gas. Venus. The
China lantern.
Kiss my ass. I know what I saw. It wasn't swamp gas and it wasn't the planet. This was a craft with the lights and it just hovering above this tree. And it stayed there for maybe 7 seconds. And then it was like, when it went away, it made a ripple in the atmosphere. So you could see which direction it went, but it was gone. I mean, it was just like, and it was just gone. Now, there's no way that we had craft that could do that kind of stuff in 1969. I'm sorry.
We still don't.
No, I know what I saw. Yeah. And that got me going on all of it. And then once we moved up to Minnesota in 72, that was right around the time that, Eric Von Daniken came out with the Chariots of the Gods films. And I went by myself. All my friends thought I was a lunatic. We have no interest in that. So I went by myself, saw those movies, and it just changed my life. You know, I'd always been the type, I was raised a Christian. We Bible school every Sunday, all this, but I was always the type, I was from Missouri. You have to show me. Don't just tell me something and expect me to believe it. I need proof.
Yeah.
And I was the kind of kid in Sunday school that would always be asking the questions. Well, why is God one time he's all pissed off, and the next time he's lovey-dovey, and then one time he says this, and the next time he changes his mind and said that, and the only response I ever got was, the Lord works in strange ways. You just have to believe. And as a little kid, I'm thinking, bullshit. Something's wrong with this story. Okay. So when I discovered the whole thing in the 80s with Zecharia Sitchin and the Anunnaki, that just changed my life, because every question I ever had about why the Torah or the first 6 books of the Old Testament make absolutely no sense the way they're written. Once I discovered what was really going on and read the original stories in the Sumerian texts from thousands of years earlier, told the correct way, it all falls in place and it all makes sense. So from that point on, I was hooked, and that was it.
Boom. I mean, because the Anunnaki are one of, must have been one of our first case files, like maybe 20 in or something. We got onto the Anunnaki. We're talking about Nibiru, and they come. So we're familiar with all the names, but the actual like history, because this was last week preparing for the talk with you, I was listening to Anunnaki Connection and all these other Anunnaki shows, and it is so much deeper, like the lore, and it's insane.
Deep. Yeah, there's no way you can even cover it. If you had a show that lasted 6 hours, you couldn't cover the whole thing.
Because what, it's like Zecharia Sitchin's work covers like what, 7 books? I
12.
think that he's
12
like,
books.
12 books, yeah, 12 of his, and then expansions.
And then he has a few more
yeah.
after that where he basically rehashes everything from the 12 books.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I can keep my show going. Last year was year 1 for my program. Before that, as I mentioned before we went on the air, I was doing a comedy show with toys and stuff called Mad Mark and Maynard Show. But anyway, this show I've been doing for a year now. And last year I only covered 2 of his books, which means I could keep this going for at least another 6 years. So.
Well, yeah. And it's a huge topic. And not only that, it's like, I mean, you can kind of get personal and anecdotal with a lot of it too. And like tie into current events and
well, right. And I do that. And I also do, as I said before we went on the air, I also have shows where I deal with raising your consciousness, because that's something that I'm very into. For the last 6 years, I've been on that path. And we do shows on, I got a show coming up on Saturday here now, a brand new episode where we delve into why are humans so into all of their ridiculous labels. I mean, it is just absolutely ridiculous how many labels we like to pile on ourselves throughout our lives. And that whole show is going to look into that whole thing. So
now, for people who are not familiar with the Anunnaki, I know it's such a broad subject, but can we let's go like a quick backstory of the Anunnaki through your findings, reading Zecharia Sitchin, because we've talked about it, but we're dummies. We really don't know.
Well,
anything.
you know, I don't blame. I don't call yourself dummies. Okay, there is so much, as you said.
I would like to use the R word, but I'll refrain.
Incredibly huge. I mean, every aspect. They're still here. Every aspect of our lives, they've touched in some way or another. Our government, everything. I mean, people always talk about, oh, you know, the president and Congress and everything. They're not the ones really running the show. There's a shadow government behind the scenes that's really running everything. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And they're called the Anunnaki. They have been running this planet since day one. They created us. They never left. You know, they've been running the show the whole damn time. It's really fascinating when you really delve into it.
So let's start with that then, because that's all what it is. The humans, we don't fit the evolution timeline. We seem to pop out of nowhere. And the theory about the Anunnaki, the ancient astronaut, they came here from their planet
450,000 years ago.
Right, their planet was Nibiru. For whatever reason, their atmosphere was poisoned or failing.
No, it was deteriorating. They are extremely warrior species. Okay, they fight amongst each other all the time. That's just the way they are. They're very similar to humans, in fact, looks and everything else. but they also have differences. And one of them is, well, of course, humans are rather warrior-like too, but these guys take it to the ninth or the next level. I mean, they just constantly fight. Well, they had a lot of nuclear battles on their planet, and because of that, they started their atmosphere began to deteriorate, and they could, that was going to be the end of their species if they didn't do something to fix it. So they tried. The first attempt was they have a very volcanic planet. It's like 10 times the size of Earth, and it's full of volcanoes, and they feed the atmosphere. The volcanoes do. So their first theory was, well, maybe what we should do is set off like atomic weapons in the volcanoes to make them spurt more often, because they noticed that they were not erupting as often as they had been, and they thought that was the problem. Well, that didn't work. That just caused a whole new ball of wax problems. So they came up with the idea. Their scientists said, well, if we could somehow suspend really finely ground gold particles up into the atmosphere, it would act like a fake shield that would hold our atmosphere in. Problem is, there was no gold on Nibiru. So where are we? They only knew of one place in their creation story of the way the solar system was created way, way, way back. The only place where there was gold in our solar system was a planet called Tiamat. Okay, and Tiamat sat where the asteroid belt sits now. And when Nibiru, it has an extremely elongated orbit. Ours is more circular around the moon. Theirs is like way out and way in and way out. So
like
isn't it like tens of thousands of years?
3,600 year cycle for them to make
years,
one. It's called a shar. One orbit around, they call it a shar. Takes 3,600 years. Well, on one of these passes, way back before even they were up to the, what's the word I'm looking for? Before they were intelligent species, when all these planets were originally being created, way back when, on one of the passes of Nibiru, it has a bunch of moons around it and everything else. Well, one of these moons crashed into Tiamat and blew it into two parts. Okay. One part became the asteroid belt. Scientists to this day, we have no idea what created the asteroid belt. Well, we do now know. We now know.
We know.
'Cause it was that collision. Half of it created the asteroid belt. The other half got pushed one rotation past Mars into where it is now, and that became the Earth. And that's how that all fell into place. So they knew that there had been gold on Tiamat, which was now the asteroid belt. So that was their first choice. We'll go mine asteroids and get the gold. So they tried that. Every time they tried it, their ships would get smashed into by the other asteroids, and it didn't work. So the only other option that they had was to come to Earth, which again was difficult because they had to go through the asteroid belt every time they want to come here. But they figured out a way to do it. It's a long story. I'm not going to go into all that unless you want me to. But they figured out a way to get through, and they started coming here. They found the gold, and they've been here ever since. What happened was their own people were the miners for the first I don't have all the numbers in front of me, but several thousand years. And then the workers revolted. And they said, we're not doing
those
this
workers
anymore.
are called the Agogi or something? Or?
EGG.
Yeah,
IGIGI. Yeah. And they had a way station on Mars. And what they would do is they would mine the gold, load it onto these ships, ship it to the way station on Mars, where it would be refined and ground into the fine gold powder that they needed. And then from there, it would ship to Nibiru. And now I can't remember where I was going with that. What was I talking about?
They revolted. The workers revolted.
The workers revolted. And so Enki, who was one of the two main brothers involved, the royalty, the two heirs to the throne were Enki and Enlil. Enki was the great scientist, and he came up with this idea. Hey, the creature the creature we need to do our work for us, it already exists on this planet. We just need to give it some smarts. It's too stupid to know how to do what we need it to do and follow instructions. So they took their DNA, mixed it with Homo erectus, and boom, humans were created. And that is how we got here.
Now, do we know, from what I was reading, so they essentially artificially inseminated, a hominid human, and which is really reminiscent of like the immaculate conception, right? Like it's
right. The first humans were like mules. They were hybrids. They could not reproduce. So every time they needed a new human, they had to bring in an Anunnaki birth mother and take their mixture that he came up with, the genetic code, and impregnate the Anunnaki female, and then she'd have to, and it just got to be a massive pain in the ass. And that ended up leading to the story in the Bible, which is completely wrong, but what actually happened at the Garden of Eden, which was the Eden, EDIN facility. It was a human research and development laboratory. And that is where they started making humans who could reproduce. What happened was, Enlil was he ran the whole show here on planet Earth. He was the top dog. You wanted to get anything done, you had to go through him. And Enlil, his half brother, basically hated Enlil, or Enki, his half brother, I should say. Enki did not like Enlil. The two of them were constantly at odds. And he decided to go behind Enlil's back and go ahead and give humans the ability to procreate. And that's what happened. That whole story about, the knowing and the snake and
well, it even parallels the story of like Cain and Abel, the brothers that don't like each other. You know what I mean? Like
right.
Well,
right.
It's not that the one was jealous.
That's what happened in the Garden of Eden. So now you know that true story.
So they take Homo erectus, mix their Anunnaki DNA. Homo sapiens pop out.
Yep.
So like Neanderthals and all the other hominids were here, but
those were all failed. No, those were all failed.
Okay.
I'm simplifying this whole thing, but we're talking. This all happened over a period of literally thousands of years.
Oh, so we're talking like
so many times to
we're
make
like
this.
We're like Mark 400.
Yeah. They tried. I don't know how many times to get it right.
So all the other hominids then are like an offshoot, failed experiments of a pre-hominid, like pretty much an ape then.
Which also includes
until they got it right. When they finally got the right person that they wanted, that was the Adamu, which is where Adam comes from.
Yeah.
In the perfect human was the
I
Adamu.
can't be the only person that's thought that us as a species, we live in our houses, we have all this infrastructure and stuff, but it's like you drop me in the woods naked, I'm dead.
You're toast.
You know what I mean? Like I don't really survive anywhere. My skin's brittle. If I'm walking, I'm getting cut. Like I'm prone to infection if I'm getting cut. Like yes, I'm resilient, but it feels like that there is no real safe space on Earth where you can just be free and naked.
Ask
and not
yourself
be
this. Ask yourself
trouble.
this. Why are so many of us, including myself, so allergic to all these plants and things on our own freaking planet? It makes no sense. That should never have happened. The reason we have crap like that is because of the Anunnaki DNA. You would not believe the problems that they had coming here. I mean, for one thing, they couldn't get used to the short days and nights. That just threw them for a loop. They couldn't deal with that. Oh my God, the days are so damn short on this planet. It's day and then it's night, then it's day and then it's night. They couldn't deal with that. But that was just the beginning of it. We had different animals here than they had. We had different plant life here than they had. We had so many different things that it took them forever to get used to.
Well, that was that was a question I had too. Okay, I'll go first, Andrew. My question was, so if they could live on Earth, that means Nibiru must have been a similar makeup, like oxygen and carbon.
Well, see, again, it all goes back to that collision when Tiamat got slammed into,
right?
And half of it became the asteroid belt, and the other half became Earth. At that same time, a lot of Earth's and their own planets. You can imagine a collision this size. There was a lot of shit going on in space at that time when that happened. DNA got swapped. So in other words, the Anunnaki are several thousand, I don't know if it's 400,000 or 500,000 years ahead of us time-wise as beings created. But, oh shit, now I forgot where I was going with that.
How we're so similar, how they could live here.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
We are cousins. They're way ahead of us, but we're cousins. The DNA is basically the same on both. Like I said, there's different plants and animals and things like that, but the DNA structure of the things on their planet is extremely close to ours, which is why Enki knew he could make this work when he was trying to create humans. He said, this is not going to be that big a deal because their structure is basically us 5,000 years ago.
Well, and like, and to that argument, if people are like, well, that doesn't make, different planets, it's like, well, we look at, like, now, before it seemed rare that there'd be an Earth-like planet out there, and now we're finding planets in the Goldilocks zone everywhere.
Absolutely.
Everywhere. So we're like, and now it's just narrowing down like what could possibly work. So if you had like an advanced race that had already done that, they're like, yeah, there's also one here that would work for us. Like, if it's all the same
if
kind of building
we didn't have
block.
laws to prevent it, we could create people. We could create all kinds
they're
of
doing it in
things.
China.
But there's laws against it.
I just seen Jim Carrey look nothing like Jim Carrey. So.
That's true. Yeah.
No, and then just to in there now, did the Anunnaki, because you obviously made it clear that they had access to higher genetic manipulation technology and things like this. Did they have some kind of aversion to AI or something like that? Was there a reason?
There was. Like, they were afraid of it.
To do that.
They said if we create a AI that reaches a certain level of intelligence, it could backfire and take us over. So they said that is a last resort. They did have robots, but not very many. They did not like to really do a lot of stuff with robots because they didn't trust them. Is that eventually they could get powerful enough and say, we don't need you anymore,
And did they have their own? Did they have their own worker?
Movies.
Did they have like a caste system or a class system? Because you said they had workers, like they were doing the work before.
Well, you had there was a king of Nibiru. His name is well, there were several kings, but the one that we're talking about was Anu. He had two sons, Enki and Enlil. Those are the two who came down here to Earth. So you have your royal family, just like any country that has a king and a queen and all that. You have your royal family. And then the next class down and the next class down. And well, these were the working class that they brought here to do the mining.
It's so weird to think that kings on Earth might be just people trying to recreate.
I got news for you. Every king that's ever been, going back as far as you want, they were all put in place by the Anunnaki. They are hereditarily their descendants. You see, the Anunnaki are not only warrior people, but they're extremely horny. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. They will screw pretty much anything that moves.
I think that's proven with Prince Philip.
And that was what the whole Great Flood deal was about. You read it in the Bible and it makes no sense. Why would God destroy? I mean, none of it makes any sense at all. But what happened
was
the
Nephilim, right?
Well, I'll get to that. That's a biblical term. That's not even in the Sumerian text. But what happened was, crap. Now I lost my train of thought again.
Great Flood. We were talking about Great Flood.
Oh yes, the Great Flood. What happened was, when they first came here originally, 450,000 years ago, the Earth was still in its last ice age. Okay, so it was ice at one end, ice at the bottom, top, and then in the middle was the only area where there was land and water and
livable,
whatever. And crap, lost my train of thought again. Where
talking Great Flood? Great Flood. You were explaining.
Right. Okay. So what happened was over the thousands of years that they were here, the ice caps and all that began melting.
Yeah.
Okay. And all right. So I'm trying to get this all in place here.
No worries.
Like I say, I don't have any cheat sheets in front of me, and this is such a vast story.
We don't want cheat sheets.
No. Okay. So what happened was our planet began to thaw, and their planet, by coincidence, just happened to be coming close enough to Earth at that particular time. Whenever it comes close to Earth, because it's so much bigger than we are, it's a massive pull on our Earth's gravitation. So their scientists figured out, hey, these ice caps are melting. Everything's getting slushy. It's getting kind of dangerous. The next time Nibiru comes by, if the pull is just in such a particular way, at that time, there was a big ice sheet in the Antarctic, the South Pole. And it was weak. And they said when our planet comes back around, if it hits it just right, that whole damn thing is going to crack right off and fall into the ocean. If that happens, it's going to cause a devastating flood over our whole region of the planet. Everything we've worked so hard to build is going to be wiped out. Well, When Enlil found out about that, he said, good. I don't want them damn humans. That's why in the Bible story, you got these, it sounds like God's got, separation angle, or he's arguing with himself because one minute he wants them dead. Next minute, oh no, I got to save some. So Enlil decides, wipe them out. I want them all gone. We never should have created them. It's been nothing but a pain in the ass. I want to start from scratch again. We're going to let them all die. Well, Enki, who created us, could not allow that to happen. So that's when he went behind Enlil's back and saved some people. And that's what his actual name was Ziasudra, and they turned him into Noah in the Bible. But yeah, he gets saved, but that's how you have that whole thing in the Bible. You read it, it doesn't make any sense. One minute, oh, let them all die. Next minute, oh no, we got to save. That's because there were two different people involved in that conversation.
Well, it's interesting
because when you read it in the actual Sumerian, it makes perfect sense.
It's not just the Bible,
and you think this God's nuts. He's got multiple personalities. He don't know what the hell he's doing. But when you read the actual story, it makes all perfect sense.
It's not just the Bible that has a massive flood story like this either. Like every single
right.
major religion has a great flood story.
Yeah, it came up from Antarctic when that thing cracked off and that iceberg cracked off. And it sent a tidal wave right up Africa and the Middle East, that whole area. It just went up and wiped it. It wasn't a worldwide flood, but it was definitely a southern hemisphere flood.
Well, we've talked about it before too on the show, on our show. But like Gobekli Tepe being where it is, like so way above sea level, like no real source of water, and it like, based on modern science, it seems to be the birthplace of agriculture, and you're just like, and they just backfilled everything.
That whole Gobekli Tepe is Anunnaki. That whole thing was built by them. That wasn't human beings. That's another question I always had as a kid, especially after seeing Chariots of the Gods. We've got all these buildings all over the world that humans, at the time those buildings were built, did not have the technology to build. So
they
who
could
built
barely
that
survive.
Yeah, they were out there still with sticks and stones, and yeah, they didn't have that. We're talking like 2 generations after the first human was created. There's no way that before you can build a structure like a lot of those structures, you have to, if you're an architect, you're aware that all has to be planned out. Everything's got to be measured. You've got to have schematics. You've got to have all this stuff. But they couldn't. There's no way they could have done it. So, the way that those bricks fit together, so perfect. You can't even get a piece of paper in between them. And no mortar, no mortar, just stacked. And how did they transport them and cut them? There's no way.
How did they do it? How did they do it? That's a question.
It was all Anunnaki. Humans didn't do it. That's what I'm saying.
No,
they were so far ahead of us technologically. Lasers, they cut it with lasers, a lot of it. They have the ability to lift without, what do you call that, when you can just use your, they use different tones, different sounds to raise heavy objects up. They didn't need to have a big machine come and, their technology is so far ahead of us.
It's magic.
We are, that's what it looks like. It does, because when you don't understand something right away, magic, and of course they masqueraded around as gods, and the humans went along with it because, they created us. They must be gods.
Well, a lot of those mega structures, or those megalithic structures, like they served, as far as the Anunnaki concerned, they served a lot of functional purposes. Like I think, was it ziggurats were spaceports, or
they had spaceports, they had temple. They're all kinds of the pyramids. Everybody always talks about the pyramids. The pyramids were built, before the flood, before the Great Flood. Their spaceport was in Mesopotamia, because that was their base of operations. Was the whole Iran, Iraq, Sumer area. After the Great Flood, most of that all got wiped out, so they had to start all over again. So the new spaceport was built several miles to the south of there, kind of equal to horizontal to where Jerusalem and Israel is right now. And they had everything laid out. Originally, they used Mount Ararat as their signal for the craft from Nibiru coming to Earth. They always said, look for those 2 twin peaks. That will let you know where you come. You follow that line in, and there you'll land at our spaceport. Okay. When that all got wiped out, they needed a new twin peaks because that was gone. And they, in the area where they were around the Sinai Peninsula, where they decided to build all the new facilities, there was no twin peaks naturally. So they had to create twin mountains, and that was what the pyramids were. And they also, as long as they were going to have to build these 2 fake mountains, they decided to put different things inside of them for guidance, lights and lasers flashing, like the guy that stands out on the runway and does this crap. They built lights into the thing so that it could, the ships could see it and find the landing strip and, guidance. I don't know all this airplane lingo, but whatever you need, that's what the pyramid was. It wasn't a tomb. It wasn't.
I always thought that pyramids were like Anunnaki built these pyramids or some type of like power device. That's why in my mind, that's what I always.
A lot of people thought that too, and if you're going to take the time to build something that massive, they probably did give it more than one job. They probably had. It does this and it does that. And it does this, but its main purpose was to serve as a landmark and to have the beams coming out that would guide. I've got episodes about all this on my show.
No, it makes sense in a way.
That could be used to guide the ships in landing and taking off.
Well,
that's
Mad Mark, I don't know if you've ever been to any of the temples in South America, but we've been to Chichen Itza.
Oh, nice.
And we were there and we got a tour, and like as we were walking to the temple, there is, like, for lack of a better word, what looks to be landing pads.
Landing pads.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
we even said to them, we said to the guy, we're like, that's for the aliens, right? And they're like,
yeah, because they only serve a purpose if you're looking at them from the air.
Yeah.
On the ground, it doesn't look like anything. So
like
why would they
pyramids.
have built it? I mean, it makes no sense. You can only see it from the air. And down there, right near where the Nazca lines, were you around that area too?
No, we were a little further north.
That was in the
we were in
Mayan and
Mexico.
Okay, because there's that area, the Nazca lines, where they shaved off an entire mountaintop. It's just flat. Humans couldn't have done that. That you need extensive equipment to do make a pull a move.
We
like
did that with just a rock pickaxe.
Yeah,
and
sure. Yeah, they were out there.
file.
Yeah,
Stone tools.
Yeah. Tell me, I got
An entire mountaintop.
And
level.
building giant glyphs that can only be appreciated from above. No
Right.
big deal.
Right. I'm telling you, the deeper you go into this, it's just there's just no way this. Is not
It does.
true.
It does
I mean,
really, like, when you look into this topic and you look into like the ancient astronaut theory and Anunnaki, it feels like something's there. Like, it truly, you feel like a gut feeling. You're like, I feel like there's a grain of truth here that is leading me to something.
I love that show, Ancient Aliens. But one thing that always aggravated me about and I have the utmost respect for all those guys, Giorgio.
We don't.
And
we
all
don't. Hold on. Giorgio pickpocketed our friend there, Andrew. Stole his wallet.
Yeah, he's got a wallet.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. At Alien Con. We met him.
Allegedly.
Wow. We're not 100% sure, but
we are.
But we
took a picture with him, and then his wallet was gone. So I don't know.
Wow.
What are you supposed to think, right?
Yeah, I suppose. Hey, Anunnaki might have zapped it away on you. Maybe.
And there's a reason he stole it, because you're supposed to pay $50 for a picture with him.
Oh,
we did.
Is that really what he does?
Yeah.
$50?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It might have been more, actually.
Wow. Okay. Well, anyway, I love that show.
It's a great show.
But one thing that always bothered me, and it's this way on every episode, these guys know what's going on. Giorgio, all of them that were on that show, they all know the Anunnaki truth. But they also knew if they ever come out and said that on one of their shows, you just explain the whole why keep going with the shows. You don't need them anymore. You know the answer. Every show they did, it was always like, well, we're not 100% sure. We think there's a connection here to aliens, but
That's TV,
we don't
baby.
know.
That's
Because
TV,
if they had
baby.
ever come out and said it's all Anunnaki crap, that would have been the end of the show. We just figured it out. We're done. And they had to keep it going. So they always had to act like, well, we're not sure. It's kind of weird, but and they knew they know about all this. There's no way they don't know about it.
So, Mad Mark, my question to you is, because we've covered all sorts of kind of UFOlogy and stuff like that, is because one of the big things that we're like I'm personally interested is like the uptick in UFO events like after Roswell, right? And then as we come into the nuclear age,
you don't know the connection there?
That's what I'm asking. What
it was right after we dropped nukes on Japan.
Yeah.
That was like the red flag. Because see, way back when they brought their nukes here to Earth and they nuked Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what that whole thing was about. And it was right after that event that they said, all right, you know what? If we keep going the way we're going, blowing shit up, we're going to destroy Earth just like we did our own damn planet. And then we're going to have the same problems here that we had there. We've got to pull back. And that's when they receded into the shadows. And Marduk took over the planet, basically, and became the one true God that you read about in the Bible. That's all Marduk, who was the son of Enki. And, yeah, it all makes sense.
Did they nuke Sodom and Gomorrah for just the rampant fornication and fucking rule breaking?
No, it had nothing to do with
they were fucking hard.
Then why did they nuke it?
They nuked it because it was Marduk's base of operations. And all the other Anunnaki, even Marduk's own family, were against him. He was a super narcissist. Shit. He was kind of like a Hitler type guy. You do everything my way. Even Enlil, who was in charge when Marduk rose to power, he said, screw Enlil. You do what I say now. I'm the new top dog on Earth. Well, all the other Anunnaki were against him. He said, hey, bullshit. We all have our little areas here that we govern and we rule. We're not turning everything over to you. So they were all fighting back. And when they discovered that Marduk was doing most of his crap out of those two cities, Sodom and Gomorrah, that's where he was getting all his followers in there and telling them what to do. And here's how we're going to take over the earth and all that. They said, the hell, we're dropping bombs on it. We're going to wipe it out. So Marduk, that's what that was all about. It had nothing to do with sin or none of that other crap that makes no sense. That's what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah.
Marduk sounds an awful like Moloch.
Who?
Moloch.
Who
we all know is pulling the strings.
Moloch, is that the fucking owl god?
No, that's the fucking bull. We're learning all about him now with all the files.
Oh, they have
Moloch. God, Moloch. Yeah. That's who
that's like a different pantheon of gods, though, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Marduk and Moloch sounds pretty fucking
of gods
similar.
Is the Anunnaki.
It's based on the Anunnaki.
By different names on different parts of the world. It's all them.
So like the Greek pantheon.
Zeus was Enlil. Yeah, right. It's all the same. Amun-Ra is Marduk, going by a different name. Wherever they went by different names, but it's the same 12 people over and over and over and over again. So, everywhere you look at every pantheon, no matter where it is, it's always 12 people. It's the same 12 people everywhere you go.
So, Mad Mark,
Enki, Marduk, on and on and on.
What's your thoughts on? We've done tons of case files and talked about events around UFOs kind of disrupting nuclear facilities, whether it be Malmstrom in the United States or Russians talking about their kind of nuclear facilities being interfered with. Is this kind of like the Anunnaki being like, you can't fire nukes? Like, we're not allowing you to kind of do this?
That's exactly what it is. Don't fuck around with nuclear weapons. That's what they're saying. We have the power anytime we want to come down and shut them all off. So they're totally worthless. Quit messing around with them. You'll never see another nuclear weapon set off on this planet.
And I mean, we've theorized about that.
They will not allow that to happen.
We've theorized that is that like, because, there's been various presidential meetings with aliens and stuff like that.
Eisenhower.
Yeah, Eisenhower. And basically we've kind of theorized that like they've been told like no nukes and you can't. So it's like all this like posturing is like no one's firing nukes.
Why do you think I don't watch the news anymore? Yeah. We just attacked so kiss my.
Because my thing is like
it's all bullshit. It's a great big theatrical production.
100%. I feel like,
and you know why they do it?
Just fire one.
Do you know why they do all that crap? Because what do you do when you watch a show like that? When you turn on the news and see that kind of crap, what's the first reaction?
I get them.
Anger, fear. What is anger and fear? Two extremely low vibrationary
100%
vibration. You are lowering your vibration every time you get angry, every time you get fearful. They want us to be kept at a low vibration because
when I'm angry, I
vibrate
at a low
vibration. You're not realizing your true divine God power. So that is why every time you turn on a show, every time it's just keeping you down, keeping you down, keeping you down. I'm done. I don't watch the news. I don't watch anything that's depressing or that keeps me down, because I want my vibration up as high as I can have it 24 hours.
You just want to watch Alien Earth for the horror aspect. It's so good.
You can learn from that.
You can learn.
I
from
love
that
educational shows where you can learn something.
Okay, I had a quick question about the nukes. So if the Anunnaki had nukes on their planet, they had nukes here. They set off a couple.
Mm-hmm.
What was there, like a rogue Anunnaki who taught humanity about the nuke, like Oppenheimer and that crew, or like how did we get the nuke and then how did we drop it before they intervened?
Did we find one?
Did we find
one?
Did we reverse engineer a nuke?
No, I doubt it. I really do. I think we just figured it out. You know, we're not stupid, a stupid species. We can learn and figure. I think that
we do carry their DNA.
I think they always knew that we would eventually get to that point. So that's why another reason why they never totally left the planet, because they still need gold. This is an ongoing thing for Nibiru. It's never going to be patched. It needs constant replenishing the gold. The last thing they can afford to do is have this planet get destroyed in a nuclear war.
Did they just kind of like part the workout now to like you fucking Middle Eastern dudes hanging around 7-Eleven in their Honda Civic being, buddy, I need gold. What do you want, sir? I'll give you $20 for an ounce of gold, buddy. What do you want?
Anyone in the parking lot for cash for gold, Anunnaki.
Cash for gold, buddy. Number one good deal.
Ask yourself this. Why, I believe it was the 70s, did the United States go off of the gold standard? Where do you really think that gold is still sitting there in Fort Knox?
Hell no.
I got news for you. That shit is long gone.
Nibiru.
Is there any gold left? It's all been ground down to monoatomic gold, isn't it? The whole thing.
And they don't advertise it. This is all below the belt, or lower, sneaky shit. But yeah, they still need it, and they're still taking it. And we're not powerful enough to stop them.
That's why they created Bitcoin.
This is
digital gold.
See, anything to get us away from the gold. Yeah,
this is actually, like, having this conversation has actually kind of sparked something in me. I'm like, okay. Because
I'm glad
we've talked about this. There's a point. If you haven't watched it, Mad Mark, the Bob Lazar interview with Joe Rogan, there's a single part in that interview where Bob Lazar mentions that the United States dug up a craft, excavated a craft, and then no one else talks about it. And we fixated on that. We're like, what the hell did you mean excavated?
What do you mean you excavated?
And then when we're talking about nukes and we're talking about that era of time where we're chasing, we had Hitler going after, he's looking for Deglocka.
Antarctica.
He's in Antarctica.
I've got a whole show on that.
Right? He's going crazy. Part of me goes like, did we potentially dig up a nuke or some sort of nuclear bomb or some sort of nuclear site that we're like, oh shit, and we're just so good at reverse engineering things. Like we like you, if anything drops from anywhere, we're little tinkerers and we're like, all right, we'll figure this out. And part of me now wonders, I'm like, is that where we got the atomic bomb? Is like, did we dig this up?
Well, ask yourself this. Why was Hitler so fixated? And again, like I said, I just did a whole episode just before Christmas on this. Why was he so fixated with this Aryan race? That's all you ever heard of. And he sent people during World War II, when he should have been concentrating on the war, he sends guys all over the Middle East because he knew that there was some kind of a connection there. And he was trying to, of course, he had his own political agenda. If we can find what we're looking for, people will have to believe that we are the master race. So that's why he was looking. But he knew that there was a connection between the white race, the Aryan race, and these Anunnaki. He didn't know it was the Anunnaki, but he knew it was something in the Middle East. And that's why he had people all over that area digging crap up and looking all over these different sites and everything. The Anunnaki were white. I hate to shatter anybody's illusions about, there's a lot of black folks who think they were black. But I did a whole show on this. The Anunnaki were in fact white. Because when they created the first humans, they had a nickname for the first humans. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah,
well, I don't know.
Honky?
They were called the dark-headed ones. Now, if you are a black species and you create your own slave race who also is black, are you going to name them the dark-headed ones? I don't think so. The Anunnaki were white.
Well,
there was
I just want to say
that's
about
what Hitler was looking for all around the Middle East was proof. He knew that there was a connection there to a white superior race that came from that area, but he just couldn't put the pieces together. He never.
we
did
got to give a
tell them.
caveat. The white superior race is technically not humans. It's from a different planet.
Right.
We're not saying nothing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And if you're from a
he
planet,
knew there was a connection, but he missed the boat.
dude,
Because that race he was looking for was
here it
from
is though.
another
If you're from
planet.
if you're from a
Absolutely.
planet that's whatever, like we call it Planet X or the 12th planet or whatever. Sitchin was the 12th planet, right? That we said he counted like the moon and another planet. As,
Right.
Yeah.
The 9 planets plus.
But if you're
Nibiru
that far
plus
from the
moon.
sun,
Yeah.
you would be translucent to get every bit of sun ray you could.
Yeah, they don't hardly ever get any sun. They are as white as snow.
Well,
I
it's
guarantee
interesting
you.
you say that because you would think at some point humans would have evolved to not get fucking sunburned.
You would think.
You right? Like you would that genuinely
Like
that-
I say, I did a whole show on this, and boy,
There's
if you
no
think I
humans-
didn't get some shit on my social media.
Oh, I'm sure
when I
we're gonna get a ton of shit too.
Because on my social media, what I do to promote my show is every day on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, I post 2, like the ones you saw, 2 little 30-second teasers from the episode. And that the whole reason for that is to try to get people over to Spotify and YouTube to watch the whole program.
Yeah.
But people see those little clips and they think that's my whole message. They don't realize that that's just a promotional clip.
The aliens are white. I said it.
Yeah, and so they heard this shit about the aliens are white or the first humans ever created were black, and all the racism shit starts coming in. The blacks are in there yell, "Oh, we were great! No, we're the greatest!" No, that's the exact opposite effect of what I was trying to accomplish with those posts.
The
You know?
aliens were white because they lived 10 billion miles from the sun.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no way that they were any.
Sure,
they had to
scientifically
be white.
speaking, you would have translucent skin if you were that. If we had the same like genetics and anatomy as that Anunnaki, they would be translucent because they'd be getting no vitamin D.
Well,
that
they
far
do
away.
get a little bit of sun because
A little, that's what I
planet
mean, but it
does
would be
go
so
around
little.
The sun, but it's for such a short amount of time that it's really
The
doesn't
rays
have
would be
any
so
effect.
weak at that distance that you're
Yeah.
getting almost zero energy from the sun.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I proved that on my show. I told them, I said, they got up. You talk about anger. Oh man, the black people were pissed because I said the Anunnaki were white, and the white people were pissed because I said the first humans were black. I mean, just fighting back and forth. Totally.
At the same
if they'd
time,
have
that makes
taken
sense.
The time
The
to watch the entire episode and got the message I was trying to portray, which that whole episode is about why racism exists, because at some point in time, right around the 1400s, was when the white people began to, for some reason, think that they were superior to not all of them, but some of them began to think they were somehow superior to the blacks and other races. And I suggest that the reason for that, and there's a term for it, which I don't have right in front of me here. You have to watch the show, but I lay it all out. It's got something to do with past memories. They were starting
Epigenetic memory.
the white gene was starting to remember a time when the white Anunnaki were the slave owners of these black humans. And it all goes back to that. I lay the whole thing out. You'd have to watch the episode.
The term you're looking for is white supremacy, I think.
Well, that's what they think. There
I
are
thought.
white, that's where racism comes from.
Well, I just want to say on the same point, if the Anunnaki were white, it would make sense that if the first people were in Africa for mining gold, and the sun is that strong there, it would just adaptation would give you dark skin.
Well, Homo
Just living
erectus, the creatures that they created us from were black. That was a planetary-wide black species.
It makes
so
more
obviously,
sense for
if you
the
take
people
a
on this
black
planet.
Homo erectus and add your DNA to it, it's going to turn out to be a black person.
It's the dominant gene. Black,
the dominant
black
gene.
skin, dark
Absolutely.
skin and
The
brown
first
eyes are the
humans were
dominant
black.
gene. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And
Okay.
that's why they were called the dark-headed ones. That was their nickname that the Anunnaki gave them. Well, if the Anunnaki had been black, why in the hell would you call your slaves the dark-headed one? It makes no sense. You know? I mean,
They're making a distinction to the species
Right.
they've created.
right. Yep.
So, but I could see if someone just scrolling TikTok and they seen a clip that was 10 seconds long. they'd be like,
Oh,
wait a
God,
minute.
Oh God, I'm telling you, it was
Wait a
serious.
minute.
Yeah, and I just kept telling him, go watch the whole. I ain't got time to go and watch a whole.
Yeah, context.
You know, and
Context
want to
is
be
not
mad.
taken
People want to
into
be outraged.
consideration.
What's
Yeah.
better that way.
Okay, so we got the Anunnaki. They've created humans hundreds of thousands of years ago. They've pulled back, but they still pull the strings like a shadow government. So how do they do that? Like, is it like a...
Well, it's their descendants. You see, I talked about this before, how horny they were.
Yeah.
They love having sex with, at that time anyway, I'm not sure, I'm sure they're still doing it. But anyway, back in the day when they first created humans, they could not stop having sex with human females. They just absolutely adored the
Hey, man, brother.
I have to stop. I got a question right here. It's been on my mind for a while. Because Anunnaki, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I've always thought that they were like 10, 12, or like they were tall, 14 feet
Not
tall.
that tall. Nope, I know.
No.
There a lot of people say that, but if they were that huge, the parts wouldn't fit together right, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That was my question.
They're only like 7 to 8 feet tall in
But
reality.
still, 7
So,
8
like
feet tall.
NBA players.
Well, the average female 400,000 years ago was probably like 4'7". So it still makes.
I don't know. They made it
still
work.
Tough. I know.
Somehow they made it work.
Well, maybe
because
they just got little
cranking
fucking
out
peckers, you know?
half
Anunnaki
Anunnaki,
just got a little.
half
So much for the superior race.
Yeah, and Anunnaki's like a silverback gorilla, you know? It's got that
so
tiny little.
because
fucking-
they were creating these offspring who were half human and half Anunnaki, that's where you get that Nephilim and all that. But
What do they call that?
Those
What
are
do they call their
biblical
offspring?
terms. They never use those terms.
What terms do they use for that then?
Just their offspring.
They're just
it's
Anunnaki
those
still.
offspring that are now running the planet.
So
They're
a whole like
human
lineage
beings,
of
technically. They're human beings, but they are the descendants of these Anunnaki.
So the Anunnaki
the
have
Rothschilds, like Billy Carson, he made the connection.
So
He
they
said,
have like primogeniture. Is it like the oldest son takes over whatever?
everything is
controls, or-
everything is what's that?
And
word
if
they
you're
call it?
if you're half Anunnaki, you get full control as like a full-blooded Anunnaki. Like when they were
at the
doing
start.
what they were doing
No,
at the
no,
start.
no. The full Anunnakis ran the show, but
Right.
they
And
would
then-
they would dictate down. They made the first kings were half human, half Anunnaki.
So did they get recognized? Was there a process that like the half Anunnaki like did they?
Well, why
did
do
they
you think
always
people like the
control-
royal family protect their bloodline so much? That's another thing. I mean, you go all around the world, there are these families that have all the money that are very careful about who they breed with and who they allow their children to marry. They protect that bloodline. Why? Because that's the Anunnaki bloodline. That's why they're so concerned about it. You know, that they would rather have sex with their own sisters and brothers, some of these people, than to actually go outside the family because they've got to preserve that bloodline. It's
that's-
important.
That's my question continues on that. So if you have an Anunnaki bloodline, do these Anunnaki like offspring, even though they're now mainly human after all these generations, do they have like a form of like telekinesis that they can communicate with their Anunnaki out? Because the Anunnaki must be out at Nibiru or out in space. Like where are
No, they got bases all over the planet.
they're still on the planet then?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
They're just not.
Are
letting
they
us
under
see
the
them.
water? Because we always talk about these
They're
transmedium
underwater.
crafts.
They're on the dark side of the moon. They're on where that whole area, the Four Corners area, 51, and all that crap out there. That's them. They got stuff in. I've seen people talk about. Oh, I saw this craft and it was heading right for this big mountain, and all of a sudden I thought it was going to crash and it just disappeared. They're inside mountains. You know, I mean,
Pine Gap
wherever
in
they
Australia.
Yeah, wherever they can find a place where humans won't come, they go in there.
So they're still here. They're still pulling the strings from on planet or
Absolutely.
slightly off planet through
Absolutely.
their Anunnaki offspring, which are these bloodlines which have continued for now.
Yeah, I mean,
1,000
Billy Carson
generations.
had a theory. He said, well, the Rothschilds, that's a very wealthy family.
The banking
on planet
cartel or
Earth.
whatever, right?
He said that actually stands for Ra's child, and Amun Ra was Marduk. Okay, so Ra's child would be where they got that name Rothschild. So I don't know if that's true, but I would believe it. I mean, they got a lot of money. They probably are Anunnaki descendants,
No.
I would imagine.
Mad Mark, I got a question here. We've talked about a lot of different cases of UFOs and contactees and experiencers. What are your thoughts on people who like are experiencing having abductions of like different species and different races? Like we've heard of like the tall grays and like reptilians and all those kind of things. How does that fit into the Anunnaki theory?
Okay. except for the ancient Sumerian texts, which is where I get all of my information from, and hearsay, of course, people will talk.
We love a little
everybody's got a freaking story.
Oh,
you know. That's why I always tell people, don't even believe what I'm saying. Look this crap up for yourself, you know, because everybody's got a line, a story, something they're peddling. You know, if you don't believe what I'm saying, look it up. But getting back to what you were talking about there, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Just what do you think? What do you think about the like different experiencers seeing like reptilians?
Except for the ancient
graves?
Sumerian texts, there is no documented proof of any draconians, none of this others. There's no. It's not written down anywhere that these people exist, and I have to believe that if they did exist, the Anunnaki would have known about them and written about them. So it would have been in those texts. And there is nothing in those texts about any of these other races coming here from anywhere else. No mention about the Pleiades, none of this. And that's one of the areas where Billy Carson and I have issues, because show me where is it in the text where they talk about any of that? It's not there. So again, it's just theories and things like that. My belief is that you've heard people talk about being abducted by Nordic aliens who are maybe 7 to 8 feet tall, very blonde haired, very white.
Anunnaki. Yeah.
Those are Anunnaki. Yes, absolutely.
So they're a little shorter than
ones that I think are abducting anybody. And the reason they're doing it is it's like if we had a cattle ranch. Occasionally, you'd want to go out and get some specimens to test to make sure that everything's staying pure and the way it's supposed to be, and that everything's going to plan. That's all that is. It's just good medicine. You know, Enki was the great master scientist. You know, it's probably him still up there checking on all these bloodlines.
I feel like some of these people that they're picking up, they're trying to figure out what the fuck happened. They're like,
because they always run genetic.
Why does this guy have no teeth and his eyes are looking opposite directions? Like something would happen. This is a bad mix.
And they may be creating hybrids. I mean, Enki created all kinds of crap. It's all written in like the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. He goes into some of that stuff. I mean, he had creatures. I wouldn't be surprised if dragons weren't real. I wouldn't be surprised, because he created all kinds of monsters. He loved to take DNA from different things and create something new. He was always doing that.
We've talked about that.
And a lot of times the shit he created was a monster, destructive, that would rip shit apart. And the humans weren't allowed to kill these creatures because they were created by the gods. So it was hands off. It can destroy your whole damn town. Tough shit. Move somewhere else. You do not kill that creature because God created it. And so they couldn't even kill these creatures he was creating. Oh, it's all, it's crazy. The stuff that's in there.
Yeah. Hey, we've kept you for the full hour.
Well, but I caused you to be late. So
no, we were right on time, to be honest.
Do not apologize for that. We're late literally all the time. So that's nothing on you.
No, you're not late. You arrive precisely when you mean to.
Ah, there you go. There you go. Well, gentlemen, it has been a great pleasure. I must say, I've had an excellent time being here.
Hell yeah, Mad Mark. Where can the people find you? What's the best place to go? Where can they search you up?
Well, the best place to go to find all my stuff is madmarktv.com. That's my website. And on that website, you can find links to my Spotify shows, my YouTube channel. There's all kinds of stuff on there. My Spotify playlists, my album.
You got an album? Wait. Stop. You got an album?
I have an album, yes.
What's it called?
Mad Mark Sings.
Mad Mark Sings? Oh my God. Can I play one right now? Mad Mark Sings?
It's actually an album that me and some friends of mine recorded back in 1986, but we never did nothing with it because we didn't have the funds to get it out so it just laid there and died. So I thought, hey, why not bring that back? I'll rename it Mad Mark Sings, and we'll
Song of the Week.
Song of the Week, Mad Mark Sings. What's your favorite song off the album? I'm going to give it a shout.
Lindendale Park. Absolutely.
Lindendale Park, track 1 off Mad Mark Sings on Spotify or wherever you listen to music.
Hey, go check it out. Go check this guy's stuff out. He's
Who Are the Aliens? Awesome. The History of the Anunnaki on Planet Earth, Mad Mark TV, all that good shit. We'll make sure to include all that stuff in the podcast description.
Am I going to get a link to see a copy, or so I can watch this show?
100%. Yeah, if you could share it with your followers and stuff, that we'd appreciate it. Yeah, we'll make sure to send you everything you need.
Anytime you want to come back on, open invitation.
Oh, you just asked me. I've had a great time. I'll do this anytime you want.
Perfect.
We're gonna have Mad Mark on speed dial here pretty quick.
That'd be great.
We got a question.
Mad Mark, we got one question about the Anunnaki here.
Gentlemen, anytime. Just contact you. You know how to get a hold of me. Anytime. I'd be more than happy to talk to you.
All right, just stay on the line for a second. I'm going to end the stream. We're going to make sure your audio uploads, and we're going to come back with after hours for everyone else listening. Thank you very much.
Peace. Keep those eyes on the skies. Zell, I was telling Dan on the little break there, when he started was like, the Anunnaki were white and they made the dark-haired ones and they had a slang word for them. I was like, oh no! Oh no! I was like, this is the end.
I was waiting. Dude, honestly, I had that thought too, and I thought like he's gonna try and spin it like, is this what they said?
I was like, oh no! Here
comes what they said.
Here comes a racial slur. He's like, that's where that word comes from.
I'm not trying to be racist. They just said it, all right? And it goes like this.
Yeah, just hard R's.
Hard R and a hard N, he would have said, I think,
Yeah,
too.
yeah. It's dude, the guy's a beauty. I
don't think
Zell,
he's racist, but I just think
I don't think he's
it was
racist.
just
Oh, he's just
funny.
an old man that
Just an
doesn't
old
really
guy, dude.
understand.
Can you play one of his songs, Zell? So we
Yeah,
can listen.
I
Let's hear it. Let's
probably
hear it.
should.
Let's fucking
Buddy,
vibe out.
did you
to one
see
of-
those pictures from his other show?
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. I want
I'm
to
gonna have to play it through my mic though. So
Oh, yeah. Play it through your mic.
so if you talk though, it'll be echoey. But let's fuck. Who cares?
Billy was a dancer and he danced the night away. All the ladies whispered, tell me, what did Billy say? But Billy didn't care at all, the boy, he wanted more. Like the feeling in his body when his feet would hit the floor down at Lindendale Park at the dark when the music played. At Lindendale Park, those nightly dances made our day. They made our day. Now Judy was from out of town and never did fit in. All the people wondered about where Judy might have been. But it was all forgotten every night at 9 o'clock when the party started swinging and the band began to rock down at Lindendale Park after dark when the music played. When the music played. At Lindendale Park, those nightly dances made our day. They made our day. Yeah, we're down at Lindendale Park after dark when the music played. When the music played.
Fucking a little meatloaf there, baby.
Well, now the world goes on
All right.
and then people
I've had enough.
go.
We're
And
good.
if you're ever back since I'm in my theater,
We're good. We're good.
you might even want to stay with Billy and Judy as they
That's funny.
Now, I know that wasn't old Mark on vocals. There's
No.
no way. That guy sounds exactly like Ernest P. Worrell.
I don't know. That was 1980 though. Like I, don't
Yeah, I
know,
think that
maybe
was
it
him, dude.
Maybe
Was it
after
really?
Yeah.
after you
He's
know.
got a real Ernest thing going on now.
They actually had a nice little piano solo in there.
Dude, I love. Okay, so we promised Mark we wouldn't give away some of his secrets, but he did come on the show. Didn't realize it was gonna be video. He's like, I have to get dressed.
yeah.
Beauty.
Beauty.
He tried on different hats to work with.
He
the
did have a couple
emojis.
hats.
He had a way better hat. Zell, I honest to God, we should have asked him where he get that shit because we should have made a fucking expense that from now on you dress like Mad Mark.
It's so good. It's the best style.
I mean, you are the most Anunnaki of all.
Yeah,
That's true. I am the
100%.
white-
That
Here.
is the traditional garb, I think.
Zell, if you surprise us next, I don't even. Do you know how happy I would be if we show up next week and you're dressed like Mad Mark?
What would you call that hat he had in that fucking garb?
Fez.
he had?
Fez,
That's
A
the
fez?
100% a fez, like a decorative fez, and then like some sort of fucking flowing
Oh, fez cap right there.
bejeweled robe.
I have one.
Tarbouche. It's also called a tarbouche.
Yeah,
I have a fez.
Do you?
Yep.
Drop it off at my house when you're driving to work.
I have to find it.
like honestly, if you're like,
so good. That's cultural appropriation, though.
no, it's not,
Buddy, that's
Anunnaki.
authentic.
Anunnaki.
Buddy, that's fucking Nibiru menswear.
Okay, it's true. If it's
Okay.
if it all comes from Nibiru, then I can wear anything.
Buddy,
actually.
it all
I
comes
can
from
have
you.
dreadlocks.
You are the master
I
race.
can have Rastafarian
Mad Mark
garb.
fucking told us.
Yeah. You know what? He said it in a non-racist way, though. Give him that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He didn't say like
the
we're the
second-
best. He
the-
said the Anunnaki are the best, and they're white. So he did a
we can
little.
only
fucking-
infer.
He did a little flipperoo there.
Dude, the best part is like we had this interview book. Like I said, that's not a lie. A bunch of people sent clips and was like, "Oh, this guy, check
Like
this guy,
one
out, check
person
this guy."
said a
out."
clip.
There was like 5, and after the 5th,
That's
I
what it
was like-
takes.
I was like,
5
all
clips.
right, you know what?
He was
fine.
he was a beauty though.
A great
But
guy.
as we were like leading up, I've been watching his clips all week, and then one popped up. It was like the Anunnaki were white, and the racist, the one clip that he's saying that got heat played for me. And I was like, oh boys, oh
Whoops.
no, who have we booked here?
You take that out of context, and that's
It
that's a
did
bad
not.
one.
It did not. Like, I don't know if I would have posted that clip. It did not sound great.
They
It's
were
getting-
white. They were the best.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, good guy.
Scientifically, they probably were white. Probably, if they're real, they probably were white.
I'm gonna tell you that we
Doesn't
have
mean-
a lot in common with that guy, with the secrets we now know about him.
Yeah.
He's a beauty. Take it.
I want to grow my hair out and let it just go white and have the full on wispy.
Honestly,
ponytail.
Zell, that's your
fucking-
career trajectory, right?
There's no point in hiding anymore. Let's just fucking get her. Look
Your
at this thing. I can
your
grow this
career
baby out
trajectory.
right here.
When you're
Buddy.
70, this show's gonna blow up because you're gonna be doing your Anunnaki, Zell's Anunnaki tales.
Damn right.
I want to see like full Lucius Malfoy.
Zany Zell.
Just fucking.
Full
Just, I want
Slick.
you have a fucking staff, like you're part of the fucking SS. Like, get right in there.
Yeah, we know we should all do costumes. We'll probably.
I think so.
There's
I
no
like
reason that guy should have blown up except because he wears an
Boys,
awesome
we
costume.
fucked up, right? We should have fucking had cool names and
Yeah.
costumes right from the jump.
that. 100%.
The dumbest thing we ever
Can
did
we
was use our real
change our names on here?
Yeah, all your names are stupid.
Like
that's
you
why.
could, yeah. Zell actually works good.
Mongoose
Zell
is
works
good. Braden
Yeah.
sucks though. That's,
Yeah,
name
Braden
sucks.
does suck.
Mhm.
I'm going back to Dragon.
Braden was the name that everyone just gets wrong, and they're like, "What's his name?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't spell it.
Brian?
Dan, you should just be Dick, and you should just wear a funny costume.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, we
Dick
should
work.
all.
Dick work.
Yeah, this is. It's just when I watch the guy, I'm like, oh man, this guy's on to something.
If we had the
He cracked the
engagement,
code, boys.
listen, if we had the engagement that Mad Mark has,
Oh, dude, he's
we'd all
insane.
quit our jobs.
Yeah, it's insane. He's
His
blowing
podcast
up.
gets no listens, but his social media,
His YouTube,
point.
Facebook, Instagram, blowing up.
Just post some more like vaguely racist stuff. Like
No.
more
He was blowing up. He was-
controversial.
Apparently,
was
our shit
blowing-
isn't vaguely racist, though. I've read the reviews.
No,
People
that's,
say
that's what
that
I'm
we're
saying.
just-
Vaguely racist. You guys
people
are just
say
full-on
we're-
racist.
Or
Yeah,
too
they-
racist. That's fair.
We're either too racist or not racist enough, depending who you ask.
Yeah, no shit.
no Andrew, we just need Summer Andrew back. Then we can get away with it more. Then we can just post his
fair.
face saying the racist
I think
stuff,
that's
and
the
it doesn't
problem.
matter.
I think we
It's
don't.
my
have
fault.
Summer.
Not my fault. I'm a chameleon. I don't
Yeah.
try to be.
Oh man, boys, I had this weekend gymnastic birthday party,
Oh, been there.
and
Worse.
Roman was fucking sprinting, right, just in the gymnastics. Ran head first into one of the balance beams.
Oh, fuck.
Boom! Like feet go boom, boom,
Ass
hits
over
the mat.
detail.
Crying, right? I go pick him up. I pick him up. I'm consoling him. He's crying. Someone turns to me. They go, "Oh, Braden, you're bleeding." And I go, "Bleeding?
Oh,
Really?
no, he's
Am I?" I
bleeding.
look down. My shirt's covered in blood. I look over. Roman's got a fucking head nick, and he's just fucking leaking, right? So then it's like, oh, the second everyone sees the blood, everyone's panicking. So I'm like, I kind of like whisk him away from the birthday. I'm like, oh, it's fine, whatever. I go to the bathroom, like kind of like putting pressure on it, trying to see how bad it is. I'm like, am I gonna need a stitch? I got moms coming in being like, oh, you could call 911. I gotta call. I'm like, no, it's fine. Just chill. It's all good.
911.
It's totally
Scalp
fine.
doesn't have a vasospasm mechanism. It's gonna fucking bleed.
Yeah. So I'm like,
all
I'm
good.
looking. I'm like, yeah, it's a little cut.
That's
I'm
what
like,
Braden told me. He said
it-
fastest, man.
it's open. It's open a little bit.
He's
I'm like,
He's not gonna sanguinate, guys.
yeah,
Okay?
that's what I said. I said
Relax.
he's not gonna
not
fucking
gonna
sanguinish
swing whining.
everyone. And then so I like come back out, and then as I like come out, and I've got like paper towel on his head. I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll go to the hospital. He might need a stitch. It's like a little open, and I'm like, I don't know. I'll probably have to
Just
go.
throw some super.
Don't
glue
call
in it.
911.
Oh, it'll be fine.
The fucking manager at the gymnastics place is outside of the bathroom, and as I come out, and I've got the paper towel on Roman's
He's
head,
got the waiver,
and
that
I'm
you signed
holding
and
him.
everything.
Yeah, he's got a fucking form on his form. He's like, I'm gonna need you to fill this out, and I'm like,
No chance.
He didn't have you fill that out
I was like,
before?
I was like, no. I had a waiver, but he wanted me to fill out an incident report. I'm like, you got gauze or maybe a first aid kit there,
Yeah.
partner? And he's like, oh yeah. So then he gets a single square of gauze, hands it to me, and I'm already got like paper towel, and I'm just kind of like getting his shoes on and getting our stuff so we can get out of there. He hands me the single square, and I'm like, oh, thank you for this. And then he goes, okay. And then he just puts his phone in my face to be like, I just need you to fill this out. And I go, hey, partner, it's not really a big priority of mine right now to fill this form out. And he goes, I'm going to need you to fill it out before you leave. And I went,
You can fucking.
Are
stop.
you?
I like, there's like everyone out from the birthday party. And I go, I'm just like fake smile now. And I'm like, I don't care about your form right now. I got other things that I'm dealing with. I'm actually not going to fill that form out at all now out of It's pure
Now
spite.
spite. Yep.
Out of pure spite.
Yeah.
You don't know who you're dealing with.
King spite, actually.
King
here.
spite. I will never.
King Spitus.
Dude, so that happened yesterday. You know how many times I've missed a call from the gymnastics today? Guess how many times I've missed a call from the gymnastics today?
The same
8.
amount as I've missed from Bell Mobility.
I'm gonna say 8.
4.
12 calls.
I was gonna say 12 first. Fuck.
12 calls.
I felt it was like it was every.
3 of the calls were at 9 in the
hours.
morning. 3 of the calls were at 9 within like 4 minutes of each other.
Sounds like you should probably take legal action against this place. They sound like
That's what he's worried
I'm
about.
starting to think.
sounds like they know they're in the wrong here. They
Oh, I
didn't
was
wrap
so-
that balance
I
beam
was-
right, and
I
now the
was
kid
so
split open.
annoyed, dude. I was so annoyed. I was just like, this guy, like, phone in like, yeah, you need to fill this. You fill it out. Just this form really quick. I was like, holy fuck.
Was he like 19-year-old kid or something?
He was like a 50-year-old man,
He
Oh,
just
he's
doesn't
right.
want to get sued.
He's like the
right?
owner.
And
Yeah.
I was just like, dude, brother, get this out of my face.
Hey, you
A
already
single
signed the
gauze?
waiver. You
Yeah.
like there's no liability unless there was like some fucking act of God that they should have prevented or something.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They probably could have roped that off a little bit.
They probably could have wrapped the bottom of that.
I probably
beam.
could have wrapped the bottom of the beam.
It's true.
I think I'm
Wrapped
ready.
it I think you might reach out to a
I think
fucking
I
judge or
just-
two here.
I think I just hit payday, boys.
Judge Judy, here I come.
But yeah, it's no, I was like, holy fuck, man. I could not believe. I could not believe that was a real thing happening to me in that moment. I was like, what the fuck? I was like,
Fuck
dude,
off, man.
offer some first aid. How about? Like,
Oh, there you
ask
go,
if he's okay. How about?
And then be like, sign this one.
I was like,
They could
yeah,
have
like-
emailed you the form later.
yeah, he's like,
it would've
I
been
have
fine.
your email. If I'm gonna email you a form that you might need to fill out later, no big deal. Here's first aid kit. Any of that,
yeah,
I would have
please
been
don't sue
totally
us.
fine. Yeah, I was like, any of that, I would have been fine. This guy was such a fucking prick, man. Oh,
Fuck
such
him.
a fucking prick. It's brutal.
Nothing better than a good kid's birthday.
And I saw Mr. Conspiracy. Holy, what a gut, guys!
Has he
guys.
fucking
got a
ballooned or what?
Banders on.
Oh,
him,
yeah.
eh?
Oh yeah.
What's he
boy.
weighing? Is he more than you?
Oh, he must be right
He's
on
getting
par
right.
with
He's getting
me.
close.
But I see my weight. I fill out naturally, kind of all over. So it's like I'm like I just
It's a
get
big guy.
He's
I just
just
get
got.
everywhere.
He's all.
So he's
gut.
like he's like Randy Bobandy, just
Oh, yeah, man.
fucking
I
big
was like-
swollen
Yeah,
cheeseburger.
like
looking.
looks normal, and then he turns sideways. You're like, whoa,
Oh, that's more like your
Whoa.
dad. Then he's got your
Yeah.
dad's bod.
big old gut. I
Big
was like-
gut.
We haven't talked in like 7 months. That's the first thing I said. I was like, oh,
You haven't talked since I ruined your life.
yeah. I was like,
I ruined your family.
Holy! I was like, what are you on that? You on a diet?
Dude, somehow I
I
ruined Braden's
started
family.
Bulking, you're in your bulking phase? Or?
cheeseburger body.
That's literally the only thing I haven't talked to him in 7 months. The first thing I said to him, I said, holy, you on a diet? And he goes, yeah. Walked away.
You haven't talked to your brother since I ruined your family by accident somehow.
I know. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, one of you guys always does that for me. You're either ruining
I ruined
holidays,
Christmas.
right?
You ruined the wedding,
I ruined the
Andrew ruined the wedding.
and- no, the
I ruined the
bachelor
wedding?
party, the bachelor party.
the bachelor party.
You ruined my marriage.
It all started with the no eyebrows.
It all
comment.
started with the eyebrows.
Oh, bachelor party. That's right.
The
Had
bachelor
you
Yeah, I
not
party.
forgot about
fucking
that.
mentioned the eyebrows, I would still be married.
Well, that would be a disservice to you, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that would
He actually
be-
did you
I
a
would.
favor.
yeah,
I would
Yeah.
proudly fucking do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You saved those that eyebrow.
Hey,
comment
listen. You know
set up
what?
a
I
series of
tried to
events.
save you, asshole. I told
true.
you you
That's
shouldn't
true.
get married.
Yeah, it's true. You
I
did.
fucking had that awkward ass conversation with you.
You did. You did. And
Hey,
hey, and
props.
I appreciate you did. He was the
did.
only person that was like, I'm only going to say this once. You shouldn't do it.
Honest to God,
You
it
should
was
not do
awkward
it.
as
And he
fuck.
gave me the reasons. And listen, all the reasons were 100% valid.
No.
100% valid.
I want to stop you right there. I want to go back about 8 years before that to when you first started dating her. We went,
No.
That's true. That is true.
we went,
too.
really?
That is true.
And he
That is
went,
true as well.
she loves butt stuff. And we went, okay.
I never said she loves butt
Pretty much
stuff.
that's what you said. Pretty much
No,
on those lines that she was a sexual deviant. And then that's why you stayed.
You were just literally like, hey, listen, she likes the chindo. I can't let
Pretty
it go.
much.
I'm a big
You know how
chindo
much
guy.
I love wearing it.
I love it.
There was about a good
That's why
6
you
months.
just, you were all traps, hey?
Yeah.
During your marriage. Just,
That's why it was so well defined at the beginning of this podcast.
yeah, makes sense.
It had nothing to do with you getting absolutely back in shape for your
No,
job or anything.
no.
But yeah, we told you that was years For 6 months. It was a 6-month conversation. It was
Yeah,
fell on
sure.
deaf ears.
Yeah, but then like,
true.
yeah,
then-
me and Dan piled on after. That was my favorite moment of this entire podcast is when somebody else finally admitted they hated her, and I was like, yes,
When did Dan say
fucking
that?
finally, dude. I literally started venting. I'm like, she's fucking autistic,
And
the
Dan's
most,
like,
the hardest
yeah.
person to be around in the world.
Yeah.
And Dan's like, yes,
I mean, times we hung out in Thailand, I was like,
painful, dude.
dude, when we were going to that one place, and she kept like trying to tell the taxi driver like, we need to go to the Green Lung, and I was like, that's not what they call it. I'm like, that's not what they call it. That's just the name that somebody gave it. It's just like it's just like there's just sometimes I'm just like,
Boys, it's all in the past. It's all in the past now.
all in the past
right?
now.
It's all in the past now.
Yeah, buddy, trade in, trade up.
Hey, it led me to where I needed to be.
Yeah, exhausted.
Just exhausted
all the
with
time.
no
Exhausted with
sleep,
3
three
kids.
fucking kids.
blood,
all right?
puke,
And I made it.
every day.
How quick
Made
are
it.
those kids footballed at you when you get home from work now?
Well, they crawl, so it's like I get home and usually Jamie's like, "Where's the other? Well, I know where's August," and I have to like quickly.
How old
like,
are they now? How many months?
11 months.
Fucking.
They're gonna be
They're going to be
here pretty
walking soon, dude. Which means
Yeah,
they'll be
the one is-
sprinting.
The one is crawling. One just fucking army crawls like this, like so, and he's got like
Dude,
he's got like
underbite.
you
car
gonna
teeth,
fucking
so he's like
you gonna
and then
bust
the
out
others-
those
the other
jofas again?
crawls.
You gonna
Huh?
bust out those jofas when they start walking again?
no,
You're
they
gonna
don't
need
fit
them, buddy.
anymore.
They
don't fit
got
them anymore.
fucking mega minds. Like
Dude,
those are
they
some
got
big,
big
domes.
Dude, they're big kids.
Yeah,
they're
they're
big, big kids. Everett,
Why are your kids so massive, dude?
dude, my 3-year-old is 32 pounds. Everett's 29 pounds. He's sick, dude, he's so big.
Like you're a big guy, but you're not fucking huge, and you have fucking monster babies.
Yeah, those babies are those
He's
twins.
29 pounds, doesn't walk yet.
No, dude, he's so big.
Jackson's 34 pounds,
Dude, he's so big.
but he
Jackson's how old now?
two
Two and a
bit.
half.
Yeah.
2 and 3.
So he'll
3 months
probably
almost.
thin out when he
Yeah.
starts moving. The army, like Everett's the army crawler, and he's chunky.
I don't know how heavy my kid is. I have no idea.
He's chunky.
All of a
But,
sudden, Nova is a athlete. All of a sudden, she skis and
Cool.
she rides a pedal bike.
Nice.
I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
where.
I like that. I like the
Just
ride.
one day she got on a pedal bike. and-
4 or 5 now.
She's 4.
4. Yeah. Soon to
Just
be 5 though.
She started skiing. We had a leash on her. Halfway down, she said, "I don't want the leash,"
Yes.
and then she just started skiing. It's the best thing. What a proud dad moment. The proudest dad moment yet.
You know why? I love how you're about to frame this as you're like, oh, I'm so happy to see my daughter ski. It's because your lumbar was fucking killing you from fucking bending over with the leash.
No, it's
Fucking
even
fall
no. It's
over.
one better. It's one better because I don't ski. I can't go in ski boots, so I snowboard, and Steph's doing all the work. I'm in front, like sliding in front in case she like goes off the hill. Just having a great time, doing a couple 180s back and forth. Just having a good time. Then she starts skiing. It's the best.
That's cool.
That's cool.
That's fucking yeah. That is dope.
You know how
There's
much
something
time
else
I've
I was
spent on the fucking magic carpet at Big White?
Ugh.
Days,
Worst run.
powder
Worst run.
days on the magic carpet with a 2-year-old, then a 3-year-old, and now a 4-year-old. Finally, she skis.
There's something else I was gonna tell you boys. I was like, oh, I'm gonna save this for after hours. And then I
The
completely
Anunnaki
forgot.
were in fact white.
Yeah. Okay, enough of the fuck.
Oh, Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey.
What
Did
happened?
you see that shit? Is
was
that
he,
real?
was there a mask on? Did he have?
Yeah, the
So
makeup
someone-
artist wore a
makeup
mask.
makeup artist has came out and said that like they fucking did an imposter.
They've done
thing.
it before too with other celebrities apparently.
Because different eye color, everything looked different. Looked so.
Yeah,
weird.
eyebrows were
Dude,
fucked.
it was given you're like, what kind of surgery did Jim Carrey have? And he wasn't even acting normal. You're like, Jim Carrey the last couple of years has been like, I am just Jim Carrey
Just a
doesn't
regular
even
guy.
exist. I don't care. And then he's like, any awards, he's like, I want to go to the most meaningless award thing I could possibly go to. This is why I went here. And all of a sudden he's in France. He's like so like happy to be there. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
What world is this? I was like, that's not
Those
really.
masks
And then
are
he
so
signed.
real.
Jim Carrey, famously left-handed. He's signing autographs right-handed. I was like, what is happening here? What is happening?
So that so that story, the story I heard is that
It's a makeup artist.
It was for sure.
That's
well,
what
it's
the
not
guy's claiming
the
online.
guy, the makeup artist is claiming it was him. Jim
Was
Carrey.
he
no
also
one's
tall
talked-
Joe Biden at that one?
100%. That's what I was thinking. I was like, remember 6'6" Joe Biden?
Giant Joe Biden out of
Right?
nowhere.
Giant Joe Biden? That 100%. Like now, like looking back, now that we have this, we're like, we can all agree, Dan, we can all agree that wasn't really Joe Biden, right?
That one time. There was
That
only
one
one
time.
time.
The one time.
There
Giant
was like
Joe Biden.
Giant Joe. It didn't look anything like him, and he was so much taller.
Dude, he was like noticeably taller. You were like, what the fuck? Walking, and he was like, you were like, what the fuck? How did Joe Biden, why is he 6'4"? What happened to him? Is he wearing stilts? Now
Yeah.
it makes sense.
That's the only time I've ever seen Giant Joe Biden was on that one picture on that one day. It was like 4 or 5
The
years
one
ago.
video of him like walking out and he like waves and then walks
I remember
back and
reading
like,
about it, and it was like, oh, it was just a trick of the camera angle, and that's why it looked like he was so much taller. I was like, maybe.
Really? Is that
or
like
maybe
the,
it was a
you're
fucking-
telling me Peter Jackson filmed that?
Yeah, like Gimli. Gimli 6'6". He looks like he's 4'8".
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, it
that was super weird. I was like, what the fuck?
yeah, Giant Joe Biden was a fucking weird one.
What a
'cause you're-
trip.
I don't know.
Well, Giant Joe Biden looked more like Joe Biden than Jim Carrey looked like Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. It was giving me what's that thing where you get when you see like the
Oh,
kind of
Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley. Yeah, I was like, what is this thing?
I just
What
thought he
is
had
this
gotten like
thing?
I just thought he had gotten some like bad plastic surgery.
That upper lower bleph surgery
like,
that they're all getting that makes them look terrible.
He's not the type though. I don't think.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was like. I think he wasn't the type, but also he's Jim Carrey. Also, he's like he doesn't really have a type. He does whatever the fuck he wants, kind of.
Especially like
I don't care if you guys think I'm that type or not. I'm just gonna do it because I feel.
Well, I
like
don't
it.
think he can do that. Like all his comedy is facial expressions and shit, right? Like
Yeah, like
you
why
nuke
would you
that
freeze
with your
face?
fucking freezing your face. And
Yeah,
all
how's
that
he gonna
weird
be in
shit?
Sonic 4?
Yeah.
His face is all frozen. up with
Absolutely, you
Botox,
can't be
whatever.
Robotnik without fucking wicked.
Man, that was
facial
like I just
expressions.
watched. I've only watched like a little bit of it. It was new, like what's that redhead comedian Santino? John
Andrew
Cena was in it.
Santino.
Oh, yeah.
He's like anyways. he makes
Ricky
them take their
Sinicki?
Ricky Sinicki
Yeah.
and Freddie was it? What's the not Freddie Prinze Jr. The other used to be a fucking absolute stud of a guy. Now he has that fucking face.
It's got like ugly frozen
Ricky,
face.
what was this guy's name?
I'm gonna look
Ricky
it up.
Sinicki cast. Zac Efron.
Oh yeah. Dude,
Oh
what did he
no,
do?
they
What-
botched that poor kid. Like
Yeah,
they
what did he
fucking
do?
Bad, dude.
He looks
There was no.
fucked.
That guy was like a fucking.
heartthrob.
Hey, listen,
Yeah,
hey, listen,
he was-
guys. He fell and fractured his fucking chin, and it changed his entire face.
Oh, is that what
It has
happened?
nothing to do with plastic surgery.
It
That was
sent
his
an entire-
excuse.
It sent a shockwave through his body that just
Buddy-
changed all his flesh.
He looks like he belongs fucking on Rapa Nui. Like that fucking chin is ridiculous.
It is
dude. He looks
insane. For a guy that had a totally fine chin. It's insane to me that a guy that is that like jacked and like that much of a heartthrob and wanted can have body dysmorphia
That's
to the fact
fucking
where he's like,
crazy,
you know what I need to do? Just absolutely fuck
I need to
my
fuck
face.
everything up. Yeah.
You know who was great in that movie for what I've seen so far though is John Cena is so.
John Cena's a great actor.
Dude, he's so funny.
Dude, he's a
John Cena
fucking
is.
great actor.
Pretty good comedy chops.
Look at that. It's not even real.
Dude,
Poor
he looks so
guy, dude.
fucking
His head is so
stupid.
square. Like
Like his eyes are like closed
Wow.
up now. It's like
He
nothing
looks
looks
like-
like himself.
He looks
Look
like
at him there.
Robin on Teen Titans when they
Look
do
at that
the
top
handsome
left one.
face.
He's like 21
his-
years old.
his
Look at
lips
this
have
guy.
like elongated out, like they're
Yeah.
just like in flat.
It's literally like someone did the old like, you know, you stretch.
Is that better?
He's not even. What he's
It's not better.
He's not even
It
that
is
much.
not, Zach. It's not better.
He's like 42 or something. He's not even that old.
Bro, I think he's younger than that. He's like my age.
You're not 45? I thought you're 45.
Buddy, fucking chill out, dude.
Zac Efron is.
You
38.
He's 38. Same
Yeah,
age.
he's my age.
He's younger than me.
Oh
He
my
looks like he's
God.
now 50.
Like that's like honestly the bleph surgeries of the fucking eyelids is not a good look.
What a
getting-
weird time we
The
live.
craziest thing I don't understand. I see all these celebrities get the fucking eyelids done, and you're just like, oh wow, what the fuck happened?
I don't even know what that is.
Dude, so it's like the skin that hangs down right here, you get it fucking removed. Like the little sag above. You get that fucking little baggage. Everyone, all of us have it. This little baggage right here. You get that fucking surgically snipped. And I'll tell you something. My mom actually got it. She had some fucking droopers. and she got that done, you wouldn't be able to tell that my mom got it done. Both of you guys have seen my mom since she got it done, and no one mentioned it because it looks totally normal. And I'm like, who did my mom's surgery versus who's doing who?
Yeah,
what
well,
kind of Dr. Kavorka is fucking doing the
It probably mixes with
surgeries?
their fucking Botox and everything else they're getting done, right?
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
man.
getting fucking surgery, boys.
James Marsden looks good.
I'm getting rid of this
Yeah.
fucking thing.
James Marsden.
Oh, your fucking little lump there.
It won't go away. Look at the size of that fucking thing.
What, you have a lump?
Cauliflower. Bring it closer to the camera. Let us see.
Okay,
it.
look at this. Look
Zoom
at my.
that shit
Here's
in.
my normal ear. Look. See?
Right, lower. No,
Normal?
closer and lower. Yeah.
Normal, beautiful
hole.
ear. Look at that beautiful, handsome ear. Now look at this fucking mongoloid.
Yeah, just a big swollen.
Is that from jiu-jitsu?
I keep draining it and everything, and it just keeps fucking swelling right back up.
You got
It's driving me
is that
crazy.
from jiu-jitsu? From rolling around?
Apparently.
Crushed?
Yeah.
In your head crushed?
Well, usually I think from shooting double legs, I think you just like your head needs fucking cracking their knees or the thighs or whatever.
Yeah, not for me.
It's the best. It's worth it. You just look. I mean, I'm already old and ugly, so it's not that big of a deal. But I don't like it.
Can you fix those? No, I don't see any fighters.
No,
fix those.
my buddy owns a jiu-jitsu gym. He's got a couple, and he's just like, you just stop training him eventually.
I'm
He's like,
gonna.
there's no fixing it.
I'm gonna go down to Home Depot and get some of those magnets. I'm gonna drain it and I'm gonna fucking flip a couple of those magnets on there. I'm just gonna let it sit for fucking a month.
Oh, so it can't
Just squish it back down.
Yeah, it's gonna like swell down here. Fucking-
Yeah, you have a huge earlobe instead.
Down, yeah.
Yeah,
fucking
good
elephant
look.
man ear.
It would probably be
fuck.
better if I stopped going for a while, but I'm not gonna do that either. I need my fucking sweated dude action.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I could go for some sweaty dude
I
action.
love my sweaty dude action.
Right, like 100%. Like get some.
You guys love your sweaty dudes.
I do. I fucking love it.
You love
Especially
it?
now that I'm not getting punched in the face all the time.
Yeah. I like sweaty dudes
Except for,
aggressively
I will
hunting.
say though, anytime one of these guys fucking is choking me out the whole time, I'm just like, wish I could punch this guy in the fucking face right now. If we could punch, this would be way different. I hope you know that as they're strangling me. I could,
I'm gonna tap, but I would have fucking punch.
if I could punch,
Why don't you switch to MMA then, so you can do it all?
no, because I can't get hit in the head anymore.
You still get
It's over
hit in the
for
head.
me.
You still get little dings.
That was
and
bad.
knocks.
Zell, don't fucking take this away from me.
People take you down. You're gonna knock your head here pretty quick.
People don't
matter
take it
of time.
down.
Someone's gonna take you down.
I take them down.
It's hard to.
And
It's hard
then
to
they
take-
choke me out.
It's
If I'm
hard
being
to take a
honest,
guy who's
I
running.
take them down, and they definitely choke me out as soon as we get to the ground. But the goal is I fucking do take them down.
How much do you get to go to jiu-jitsu?
I get to go to jiu-jitsu because it's at 6 a.m.
That's right when your kids get up. No.
No.
Oh, boys, how stoked are we? I can't even begin to tell you guys how stoked I am about the time change never changing again.
Buddy, do not give this
so nice.
government any fucking props. Just end it.
Do you know what?
Fuck
I don't know
them.
why they didn't take my advice. Is just let's go halfway and leave it. Halfway. Everyone goes half. Step back. We're now going ahead. We're going
Springing
forward a half hour, and then we're gonna leave it. And if we have to make up the half hour globally, we just do a quick half an hour reset, and then we're good to go later in the year, and then we're good forever. There's no reason not to do that. Because now I agree we shouldn't change it, but now in the winter it's not gonna be light out till 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, who gives a shit though? Because we go to work anyways. So it's like now it's gonna be lighter when you get home. You know how depressing it is fucking coming home. You're like, it's already dark.
Yeah.
I
Go to
hate
work.
this.
It's dark.
I
Come
hate
home,
that.
it's dark.
I'll go to work in darkness. The whole day is darkness.
I do
going-
both,
Having
though.
to go to
It's
work.
fucking
Every day
whack.
I have to go to work, it's darkness.
If you work longer than like 12 hours or longer, you're doing that either way.
You're fucked.
It's fucked.
But then like now when I come home, it'll be still a little light soon.
You're gonna get 45 minutes of light when you get home.
Yeah, 45 minutes light. Hell
No,
yeah,
I agree.
better-
I
better
agree.
than
It's
no
better
minutes of
than
light.
changing, but we should just change.
You know what?
Half.
My kids
Split
are
the
going to be
difference.
getting up at 6 in the morning now instead of 5. You know what a game changer that is for me?
They're not. That's not.
Yeah,
how it
so you can
works.
fucking goop
That is
longer.
how
That's
it
what that
works.
means.
It's not how it works at all.
It is how it works.
It's not.
It is how it works. Shut the
And you can
fuck
say that
up.
as many times as you
Trying
want.
to manifest it, Zoe.
It was. They were sleeping until 6 before the time changed, and when the time leapt back or whatever, fell back, then it was 5 in the morning.
That's
and
up,
they
that's up
never
to
stopped.
you. That's up to you to revert that habit because that happens to everyone, and everyone reverts.
My kids never reverted. What am I supposed to do? Go in and be like, hey, go back to bed. Go back to bed.
Yeah.
Go to sleep. They
You don't
don't.
get- know what?
Crying.
You know what rule have I installed? 6 a.m. We don't go in. Open the door. Back to bed. Bury my head in the pillow and just let him cry for half an hour more. Till 6 a.m. 6 a.m. I'll get up. 5:30 I don't get up. Unless it's like blood curdling scream.
Yeah, it's blood curdling screams, brother. My house. And then if you let it go, then they wake up Roman. And then once Roman's up, then it's fucking smoothie. You're like, oh fuck. This guy can tell me what he wants. The baby's you can at least can contain still right now. But yeah, hey, let's wrap this one up. That was fun. That's a fun Monday night.
Cool. Hell yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Next week, same time, same place.
Yeah, we'll figure out a
Hopefully.
topic next week.
Peace.
Peace.